Alright, so here we got a 2013 or 2014 model year Q7 3.0 supercharged. I woke up one day, said this shifter wouldn't come out of park, stuck in park. So I got it towed here. Had to take this off, get it out of park. If you ever need to square them out of park, this little that little lever right there, pick up on it and then pick up on this, you'll be able to get it out of gear. You got to get this all out of the way first and get down there to it. But so no, won't shift out of park. Right here, I scanned it, no communication with TCM. Checked all the fuses, looked at the diagram, found where the fuses are. Checked all these fuses here, every one of them is good. The one for the transmission is right here. This is fuse panel C. The red one is carrier number 3, and this is fuse number 5, 15 amps. It was good. All of these fuses are good. All of these fuses are good. This is a CAN communication comb here. No corrosion, no issues there. The guy had mentioned, called in and mentioned, said that he did a blower motor himself, and that after he did the blower motor, he noticed that his floor was getting wet and the AC was leaking on the floor. So the drain, which is behind here, can't see it right now, but the tube that was coming off of that for the drain was kinked. It wasn't on right, and it was leaking, just leaking out of the floor right there as it come out of the AC box. Water gets in the floor here, gets inside of here, and any wires that get wet can get corroded. All of these ones that don't have any punctures in them, they don't have any issues. They're solid wires, all front to back, solid insulation. They'll be fine. There's no connectors in here. So all that is fine. TCM sits over here in its holder underneath the passenger seat like this, with the inside of its holder, and so it's hard. It wasn't corroded or nothing. I did take it out and check the board, so I mean it's got to come up the hump here and get in there, and so it would have to be flooded for that to get water in it. So got the seat out, got this out, checked it. These two right here, 1 and 2, those are ground wires, good ground. 27, 28 here, power wires, no power. The fuses are good. TCM's not corroded, connector's not corroded, but there's no power here. So checking the diagram, the wire comes from here, runs out, splices into 2 wires, and then runs over the 27, 28 on the TCM, and that's it. They don't go anywhere else. There's no other connectors in between. And if you have this issue, you can unplug this connector without having the seat out. You can move the seat all the way forward and look underneath the rear of the seat, get to this connector, unplug it, and check it. You don't have to tear the seat out like I did. And you should be able to get underneath the carpet here too, because this splice is right here in the front of this plastic carrier. And you'll find the splice right here. This is the power wire coming from the fuse box, and this is where it splits into 2. This is a factory splice. And what happened was the water from the condensation of the AC unit wet the floor, wet the carpet, and sat down in here, and it corroded these wires away. When I took this out, it was pulled apart from here, and all 3 of these wires were just little green nubs left. That was it. So it was completely corroded out. So now that was the issue. So now I'm going to fix it. I'm going to use these crimps right here from TE Connectivity. These are the size here, connector splice, 4 to 9,000 CMA. This should be the correct size. I have a size smaller and a size bigger here. This is 5 to 16, and I think the other size I have Right here was 2 to 4, but that's too small. That's too big. I think this 4 to 9 here should be just right for all 3 wires. And on the wires, you can see here, I have a marine heat shrink, or also known as a double wall heat shrink. And when you heat this, the inner sleeve is like a glue type substance. It'll, once it's fully heated, you should see it kind of ooze out the ends of it. And that will completely seal this connection off from any kind of moisture, protect this from being contaminated and ruining again in the future. And that would be the fix for that. So if you wake up one day and your Q7 won't come out of gear, and you try to diagnose it, you have no communication with the TCM, and then you go to your connector, you check your fuse here, make sure your fuse is not blown, you got power on both sides of the fuse, that's good. You go underneath your seat in the back here, check these 27, 28, 1 and 2, make sure you got power ground here on 1 and 2, and check for power here on 27 and 28. If you don't have any power there, but you do have power here with the key on, I think it's power, it should be power here all the time. And so if you have power here but no power here, remember the wire goes straight from here to the splice, splits into 2 and goes straight here. It doesn't go anywhere else. So if you have an issue, it's going to be here, here, or here. So no power here, you need to check the splice. If you got no power here and you do have power here on the fuse panel C, carrier 3, the red one, fuse number 5, 15 amps. And then check your splice here. If it's corroded, fix it, and that should resolve your issue. So hopefully this should help somebody out who comes across this. Again, this is a 2014 model year, but this can also be the same for earlier and later. I think it changes somewhere around 2016, and it should may be the same all the way back to maybe 2007. This is the crimper I'm using. This is the crimp connection that I'm going to use to splice them back together. The double wall heat shrink to seal it off from any moisture, and then maybe some black tape to hold it together, and tie all these wires back together and close this up, dry out this floorboard, and that should resolve my issue. And the size of the connector that I use for it is 4 to the 9000 CMA. That's how TE sizes these. So that should fix your issue. Alright, thanks for watching.